51 days until this thing is the real deal that I'm holding in my hand. Guys, I've got an awesome iPhone 7 update for you today. We've learned a lot of circumstantial things about the iPhone 7, such as the actual release date, more features, even Tim Cook spoke about it today, so I've got an awesome little update for you. So just minutes ago, Tim Cook did speak at his quarterly earnings call to investors, and he told them that he's very excited about iPhone sales later this year. To be exact, what he said was, I don't want to talk about the new iPhones that are announced. That aside, what we have seen on the upgrade rate is that the iPhone upgrade rate for the 6S is very similar to the 5S. What the future holds, we'll see, but I'm very optimistic about the future and see so many signs that are positive. He went on to say all these good things about iOS 10 and all that, and there's a lot of fluff in there, of course. I mean, what are you going to say when your company relies on these investors? But in any case, he is very excited about it. He spoke about it a little bit today. We know it's coming, absolutely. But getting beyond that, we actually know the release date for the iPhone 7. And to be this exact is a little unusual. Usually we don't really know when, because that's always a surprise, but EV Leaks on Twitter is claiming to know the actual release date. So this guy is very prominent on Twitter. He's been leaking things, not just for Apple, for many companies for a very long time. And he's saying it's going to happen on the week of September 12th. Then later answered a question specifying the exact date, September 16th. So mark down your calendars, save your paychecks, guys. September 16th is when we're going to be seeing the iPhone 7. And the paychecks part is to who will be buying it, of course. I know not everybody's convinced about it, but the actual release date will be on September 16th. Now, props to 9to5Mac. This is actually a table that shows the comparison between past releases, and it's very in line. It's a little earlier than usual. Apple tends to release their iPhones later in the month, but this is actually like retail release, not announcement. Announcement is usually 2 weeks prior. So based on the release date he gives us, it could be 5th or 6th of September that Apple has their event, and pre-orders should start on the 9th on Friday. And you guys may have heard on the news, on a lot of tech sites, people are starting to call the iPhone 7 iPhone 6 SE. And I was wondering why, like, where is this coming from? So it came from a German tech site that basically said the iPhone 7 will be called the 6SE. Citing sources from the actual supply chain line, they're saying that a lot of the parts and components, even cases and stuff like that, are being labeled 6SE. Other than that, they don't provide really any proof to that, but their claim is that because the iPhone 7 will be such a small update, there really is no reason for Apple to claim the iPhone 7 name. They're just going to keep it as 6SE. Let me tell you why this won't happen, guys. Can you imagine the marketing nightmare when Apple releases an iPhone that is so similar, even in name, to the iPhone 6S? I mean, can you imagine this thing selling good at all? It's just terrible. If Apple were to do this, they would shoot themselves in the foot. The best thing for Apple is to distance the iPhone 7 from the 6S. Just the name alone, even for people, like, they'll hear iPhone 6SE, like, that's the same thing. But the iPhone 7, even though it may not be a big update, the name differentiates it. It's just a reason for people to buy something just because it's new. And I also wanted to point out that the Samsung Galaxy phone series, they're always on par with Apple's naming scheme. That's in order to keep people believing that they're on top, that they're new, that they're current. If Apple were to leave that behind, Galaxy would be in the 8s already, the Galaxy S8, Note 8 eventually. Like, it would just be bad news for Apple. Even the Galaxy Note 7 skipped the 6 just so people don't think that it's an older, inferior phone. That means a lot. So will this happen? Absolutely not. I think this is absolutely false. Everyone else is pointing to an iPhone 7 naming. Not going to happen. And I know this one may raise a few eyebrows. It did for me. Deutsche Bank researchers have pointed out a lot of the upcoming iPhone 7 features, basically confirming them. But wait, a bank is now reporting on the iPhone 7, and yes, because this bank manages people's funds, they invest for them, it's in their best interest to know about the company they may be investing in. So in this case, the iPhone 7 is Apple's future. Whether or not it's a good company to invest in for their customers, it's in the best interest of this bank to monitor what's going on at Apple. So they actually pointed out and confirmed some rumors, and some that I was very happy to hear. So I just wanted to share a few of the big ones with you. The main one for me was that they did confirm in the box of the iPhone 7 there would be a 3.5mm adapter. Instead of just shipping Lightning headphones, they will be shipping an adapter instead. Seems like a step backward for Apple for me personally, But even more, they did give more details on the models and features. So the iPhone 7, the base model, will have stereo speakers, the 7 Plus will not. The standard iPhone 7 will also have optical image stabilization. That is very, very good news, and of course, better imaging quality. They did confirm that the iPhone 7 would come in a new color. Whether or not it would replace an older one or just be an addition, they didn't confirm. They did say it would have professional class waterproofing. What professional class means, I really don't know. Could it be higher than IP68? I highly doubt it, but they did confirm waterproofing is in the works on the iPhone 7. And lastly, they did say that the home button would simulate a press. It wouldn't be a physical home button, and that it will last longer. And just moments before making this video, Maka Takara did confirm that the iPhone 7 will be shipping with a 3D touch-like home button. That means a virtual home button. He did say it will be completely flush on the top of the iPhone, and it will help with waterproofing. It won't look too different. I mean, people will know, of course, it's not a physical home button, but it will feel like one thanks to 3D touch. So more and more people are starting to confirm this rumor, and I'm really excited at the possibility of it. And I am very excited about this one. Gorilla Glass 5 was just announced a few days ago. It may be making its way over to the iPhone 7. Unconfirmed, but a few sources are pointing out the possibility that it may happen. So what's new about it? Well, you can drop it from 5.2 feet, and 80% of the time, if it lands face down onto a rough surface, it will actually survive. So that is really, really good. Previously, Gorilla Glass 4 was only at 3.2 feet, so huge improvement, almost double here. And to see that on the iPhone 7 would be awesome. I would be so happy to test it, but for sure it's gonna happen on the Galaxy S8. So currently Apple uses an ion technology, hardened ion glass, dual ion on the 6S, and it's pretty good, but Gorilla Glass 5 sounds really, really awesome. And just wanted to point out that the iPhone 7, this guy is getting leaked everywhere. It's not even the real deal, but a lot of tech websites are picking up on it. Everyone has a shell of the iPhone 7, except really it's not. So don't believe everything you see. All of these leaks coming out on a daily basis, most of them aren't the real deal. Looking towards the future at the iPhone 8 in 2018, Apple may be adding Retina Scanning to this iPhone. So DigiTimes is reporting that Apple will be mimicking the Galaxy Note 7's new feature, iris scanning, to go ahead and give you a secondary way to get into the iPhone. Now, whether or not it'll happen at this point in time, it's so far off, but they are claiming it's the real deal. Even Ming-Chi Kuo has actually in the past said that it would be happening, except on the 2017 iPhone just next year. Either way, it is on the horizon. It probably will happen. And lastly, DigiTimes is also reporting that the Apple Watch 2 will be getting released alongside the iPhone 7, or announced this September with a release later in October. So to feature better battery life, faster processor, and cellular connectivity. Guys, there you go. That's the latest on the iPhone 7, even on the iPhone 8. Just some extra information in here that I didn't catch. I know I made a final video just the other day, but we still got like 51 days until the final release, and there will be a few more leaks in between here, I'm sure. Maybe even a working unit. I'd be very excited for that. Still keeping an eye out for the iPhone 7 clone. Just as soon as that's out, I'll post about it. But thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll have more videos on jailbreak tweaks, stuff like that, very soon. Peace.